Theuns, I hope we've got you back. He's an economic researcher at the Solidarity Research Institute. You were just telling us before the connection broke there about the deregulation, how it works and how much less consumers would actually be paying for fuel in South Africa.
Yes. Sorry, if I can just put this on. Can you hear me now?
Yes, that's great. Please continue.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, so what I was saying before my connection cut off was, currently the petrol price is made up of some things that we simply can't control, such as the international fuel price and the rand exchange rate. But what we can control from South Africa's side is the taxes that get added to it. And then what we've set our sights on specifically is the mandated profit margins across the whole supply chain when it comes to fuel. And those include a lot of things like, obviously, the import price of fuel, then the wholesale price, the transport price. So to give you an idea, whether you're transporting fuel for hundreds of kilometers or just around the corner, law mandates that you have to take roughly 60 cents per liter. Same applies to the end seller of that fuel, who has to take around roughly R2.30 per liter now. And whether you're pumping millions of liters a day or hundreds of liters, makes no difference. You have to take that profit margin. And what we're hoping for is that fair competition would set in and prices be dictated by what suppliers are willing to sell it for, and then obviously what you and I are willing to pay for that fuel. And that's roughly how most of the world does it.
No, absolutely. And I mean, you have quoted or cited some research that shows that a combination of these regulatory amendments would reduce the price of fuel significantly, and that in turn would actually stimulate economic growth in the country.
Yes, definitely. I mean, every single one of us would rather be spending the money that we're spending on transport on something meaningful, because transport in essence is just getting you to somewhere meaningful, whether it be for enjoyment or to go to work. All of that adds to the economy in much more productive ways than just burning it up in your engine.
No, yes, that's absolutely correct. And I suppose one of the difficult things that we have to think about, though, now, Theuns, is the fact that we've got that fuel, the price of Brent crude that is sitting at record prices. That's something we cannot change, unfortunately, as you mentioned in your first answer. So I'm wondering how those regulatory amendments would offset these record prices in Brent crude that we're seeing.
Well, nobody on earth would be able to offset all of it, but now's the time. It's now more important than ever to take control of that which we actually can control. And, well, ironically, by losing that control from a government perspective and giving it over to the market. To give you an idea, if fuel, when diesel got deregulated, the profit margins narrowed very much, and actually widened between retailers in the Pretoria area and surrounds. People are sometimes willing to take about 20 cents per liter, and okay, that's more people with a wholesale focus. But on the other hand, you have other retailers now selling diesel at the exact same rate as petrol. And we're expecting that to happen. We're in areas where people are more focused on price. The petrol prices would come down remarkably. Yeah. And we've seen that happen internationally, where petrol prices got deregulated. It went much, much lower, and we desperately need that now.
No, absolutely. Theuns du Buisson, I hope we had a little bit more time to discuss the opportunities like jobs that deregulation and increasing competition within the sector will produce. But this is a conversation we'll continue to have as the Minister and related stakeholders get together to speak about how the price of petrol is calculated. He's an economic researcher at the Solidarity Research Institute. That's